God damn. Well, I bet y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see me no more, huh? So I took a little small hiatus, man. You know what? To the ones that watch my channel and that care, shit happens in life, man. You know that saying, when it rains and hurricanes? That's what happened to me. Lost my laptop went down. Come to find out, my hard drive went out. My damn internet got turned off because of some unforeseen circumstances. And then MoviePass went belly up, so I wasn't able to review the movies that I want to review for you. But I'm not here to cry the blues. I'm here to review a movie. So for those wondering why I was gone for a while, that's the reason. But right now we ain't talk about that. Right now, let's get down to what I came here for, what I made my comeback video review for, and that's for Creed 2. My most anticipated film of 2018, yes, even over Infinity War. I love the MCU, don't get me wrong, but I'm a bigger fan of Rocky. Rocky's like my favorite franchise of all time. 3 is my favorite movie of all time. So this was a movie that I had to love. This is the movie that I wanted to love. And getting right down to it, did I love this movie? Off rip? No. Did I like it a lot? Yes, I liked this movie a whole lot, but I felt like there were just some things where I was like, damn, they're like this. It was just something missing that, like, it just didn't have like the same Rocky magic that I love, man. I mean, but a lot of Rocky magic was there, but I'm like, it was something missing, and I'm trying to put my finger on it, but there was just something missing where I'm like, damn, like that. I feel like I watched like a true Rocky movie. But yeah, you can argue and say, well, it's not Rocky, it's Creed, it's a whole nother franchise. You can say that, but look, reality is it is part of the Rocky franchise, it's part of the Rocky universe. Rocky is a part of it, so god damn it, it is a Rocky film, but it is Creed at the same time. So right off rip, the things that I did like about it, I thought the fight scenes were way better than the fight scenes in Creed 1. Like, when Creed 1, especially the fight against Ricky Conlan, it didn't have the drama like the other Rocky fights, because Rocky always had a motivation, always had a reason to beat his opponents, and you wanted to see him whoop his opponents because of the villains that they were, and we didn't get that in Creed 1. It was just like, it was a technical fight, it was a good fight, but it didn't feel like, it wasn't like Rocky drama, you know. In this one, the 2 fights that they had, it was dramatic, you know. It was dramatic and emotional, and I was engaged. A couple times I was cheering, a couple times I kind of went back in my seat, a couple times I'm over there bobbing and weaving with them like shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the fight, like I was watching a real pay-per-view boxing match. So yeah, the boxing scenes were definitely better than in Creed 1. And I did like the relationship between Big Drago and Baby Drago. I was surprised, because I know that Dolph Lundgren is not really known for his acting chops, and the guy that played his son, Victor, what's his name, Florian Montaneo, or however you say his name, you know, I've never seen him in anything. I don't think he's even an actor, but he was surprisingly good. Like, you know, like his pops in Rocky 4, he really didn't have any lines in his movie. Like, he really didn't say shit, but he did a lot of acting with his eyes, with his facial expressions, and of course with his knockout power. And he has a screen presence. The guy had a screen presence. Every time he was on screen, it's like, okay, this guy is a star. And I like the way they developed Victor's character and Ivan's character, where they weren't just villains, you know, like you cared about them, you know, by the end, like you cared about these guys. And it's almost like, yeah, you know, you really, like, of course you're supposed to root for Creed to defeat the big bad Drago, but then when by the end you're watching, like, you don't want to see either one of them lose because of the way those characters were developed. Like, you're kind of rooting for both of them. But yeah, that was a highlight of the film, with Drago and Victor Drago. Michael B. Jordan was good as always. He was good in the first Creed. He's good in this one. I'd like the relationship between him and Rocky. Of course, the relationship between them in the first movie was more special, I guess, because it's the first time we've seen Rocky in a long time, and you know that their interactions were really special. But in this one, that they were good too, but you know, not as impactful as in the first film. But I will say, the shit did have me emotional at the end. And I'm like, look, I can't get through a Rocky movie, except for 5. I can't get through a Rocky movie without getting choked up at the end. And I'm like, I was getting through this one, I was doing good. I'm like, okay, it's not gonna get me. And then it happened, and I'm like, fuck, you got me. I took my glasses off, man, I'm wiping my eyes, and I'm like, oh man, I said, Sly, you did it to me again. All right, Rocco. All right, Sly. Now, the things that I okay, well, yeah, Michael B was good. Sly was good as always as Rocky. You know, he always has the funny one-liners and the Rockyisms and the Rocky wisdom. And yeah, it was, all the performances was good. Tessa Thompson was good. I thought the relationship between Tessa Thompson and Michael B was dynamic. They have a lot of good screen chemistry. So seeing those two together, they definitely have a good relationship. Felicia Rashad, who I'm sorry, every time I look at her, I think Claire Huxtable. So I'm like, damn, if I was ever in her presence, I'll be calling her, mom, because like she helped raise all of us 80s babies. But she was good in the movie too. Now, real quick, the things that I didn't like. The things that I didn't like was I thought the movie could have been shorter by about 20 or 30 minutes maybe. I thought there was just too much family scenes, the stuff that was going on with Donnie and his people, and Tessa Thompson and everything. Which, I guess not the worst thing in the world because you do care about these characters, but it's like, all right, let's move the story forward. Like, the story, like what we want to see is the shit between Rocky and Drago and Creed. Like, that's what we've come to see. And what made Rocky 3 so special was because it cut out like pretty much all the fat and just gave us the meat. It was probably like 20% fat in that movie, but we just had a lot of steak to chew on, okay? This movie, it was a lot of fat, a lot of gristle, not enough meat to chew on. And it's like at times it was dragging, like there was some pacing issues that sometimes, and I find myself getting a little bored, and I'm like, I should never be bored watching a Rocky film. As bad as 5 is, one thing I could say, the movie did not bore me. There were times in Creed 2 where I was kind of bored. I kind of checked my clock a little bit to see, okay, how much time we have left in the movie. But then once the third act hit, when the training montage finally came in, when the training montage hit, at the end I'm like, okay, boom, now it feels like a Rocky film again. So the montage was good, then the fight, and then everything else after that, I was a mess. So the third act, it really picked up again, but between the end of the first act to the third act, it was like, but still good though, still good. Like, I'm not shitting on this movie by a long shot, but I will say I did not enjoy it the way I really wanted it to, but still a very solid film. And if it makes sense, even though Creed 1 is the better film, I think I probably would watch Creed 2 more than I would watch Creed 1. That's just like the first Rocky is the best Rocky movie of 1 through Balboa, but I've watched 3 more than any of them. And you would say, well, 3 is nowhere as good as 1. And you're right, it's not. But rewatchability-wise, I love 3. Flawless film. So that's how I kind of feel with Creed 2. I know I could watch Creed 2 over and over again just because I did love the fights and the whole thing with Victor and his pops. And Dolph Lundgren, like, dude, he still doesn't have a lot of lines in this movie, but yeah, Dolph Lundgren acted his ass off, man. Like, he did really good in this film as Ivan Drago. Like, he came across as an evil, like, cold-hearted bastard, but then, you start to really feel for him because you see the shit that he went through after the loss of Rocky, and you're like, damn, like, he's been through some shit. Like, he went from being this to being a nobody, and, and he's trying to use his son as a platform to get back on top again. But his son is almost like, he's like Frankenstein's monster, you know what I mean? Like, his dad controls him, but at the same time, he can see that shit ain't right. I'm gonna grade this thing, and I'm gonna grade this in 2 ways. I'm gonna grade it from a fanboy standpoint, then from a so-called film critic standpoint. So from a fanboy standpoint, as a Rocky fanboy, just from first viewing, yeah, I would give it maybe, compared to the other Rocky movies, just off rip now, I say about C+, borderline B. No, I'm gonna reverse that. From a Rocky fanboy standpoint, I'm gonna give it a B+. All right, because I think it is worthy of the Rocky movies. It's definitely up there with them. Still better than 5. I think everything they make will be better than 5. From a movie critic standpoint, if I was a critic critiquing this and picking out certain things from how things were shot, there was a lot of close-ups, a lot of like, compared to the camera work that Ryan Coogler did, I think it's not as good as Ryan Coogler's work as far as art-wise, directing-wise. But, yeah, from a critical standpoint, I'll probably give it a C+. If I was just basing it, like, just as a film, as a movie, if I was being a critic about it, I'll probably give it a C+. And I just want to add real quick, one thing that I think that what really took away from the film, and I think could have added even to the scenes, where we didn't need was the score. Like, where was the score, man? Like, there was no musical score. Like, you know, Bill Conti's what made those Rocky films special, you know, and I forgot who scored Creed, but even the Creed score was phenomenal. The score in this movie was shit. I mean, the songs were good, but the score was garbage, man. Like, even the training montage scene, I'm like, dude, we're used to the epic sounds of Bill Conti during the training montage. I give you goosebumps when you want to just do some push-ups or fuck somebody up. I ain't get that in here, man. The montage was cool, but the music was garbage. So I just want to put that out there also. I think that's another thing that kind of brought the movie down, was it had no score. Where the fuck was the score? Excuse my language. So I'm trying to stop cursing so much. So guys, B+ as far as a Rocky film, C+ as far as just critiquing it as a film. And that's how I'm gonna grade it. So guys, thank you for watching. This is fun doing this again. I haven't done this in a long time, so if I got a little ring rust, you know what I mean? You gotta excuse me. I've been out for a little while, so you know I gotta get my footing back again. But I'm back in there, and I'm gonna keep punching. I'm gonna keep swinging. You know what I mean? Ain't that right, Apollo? Yeah. But so guys, thank you for watching, man. Yes, I'm back with a vengeance, y'all. I definitely plan on bringing more content to you. So thank you guys for watching. As always, this is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.